axle guy. See that sign in the front, D? That's what I need. And this is the first rest area. Probably not enough light here. This GoPro really doesn't like dim light because the sensor is very small. But basically yesterday I hardly had enough time to go through Toronto after the curfew, which ended at 6:30, and then it was getting dark. The sunset was at like 7:52 or something, so I barely made it to this. This is the first rest area, like a big one, you know. It's called En Route in Port Hope, Ontario, just east of Oshawa. And they have these big spots for extra long vehicles, you know. And I just pulled in because I was driving and thinking about this, that how I don't want to back with this. Like this setup, you know, it's like you have two trailers. It's the same as like pulling a B train, which I never did, but I backed. I had to back a little in the yard where they were transferring the crane, and and yeah, it takes some getting used to, you know. These the Jeep goes one way and the trailer goes another way. So and another thing, like driving experience with this thing, is when you go on the ramp, you know, for the freeway, because I'm so long now, you have to stay almost on the shoulder for your wheels not to be on the opposite shoulder, like on the last wheels on the trailer, you know. But all in all, not that bad, except basically driving in a straight line, it's fine. You know, once you start backing and turning, that's when so it's kind of like a freeway vehicle, you know, like no local deliveries. And the plan today is to reach the Flying J in Napanee, Ontario, and oh, my temperature is already good, 100 coolant. Time now is 6:37. Yeah, the sunrise officially is in 1 minute. Okay, so now we can close this. I did my pre-trip inspection. That's my keep tracking thing. Okay, do I have my location on? Yeah, I do. Okay, so we're just gonna put no, Flying J. Flying J. Oh, Napanee. No, that's Niagara Falls. Flying J. And it's not giving me any what? No Flying J in east of Kingston. That's not good. Okay, Flying J near Napanee. Here we go. Hooray! Directions 128 kilometers. That's it. That's perfect. So I'm gonna be there bright and early.
Head northeast toward Ontario 401 East.
Yeah, so basically the shipper who was moving this thing, they had a scale, but the results were kind of like, you know, unusual, and the guy said that probably I will need to rescale somewhere, so I'll have to pay for the scale before I submit my Quebec application for the permit. But I hope I can get it today, so that's why I got up like at 6 o'clock. I checked when the sunrise time was, got up at 45 minutes before that, and now we can start driving. And then yeah, Napanee, that's the nearest big place where I can go in and I can scale. And I need to get DEF. See, my DF is getting low. I'm still okay for fuel, but I might get like one tank and DEF and scale, and then I have to go and measure all the distances between axles, because now this is not my trailer, right? My trailer I know, but this one I have to measure, you know, truck to the Jeep, distances between the Jeep axles, then last axle on the Jeep to the first axle on the trailer, and so forth, and then write down the tire sizes, and then I can send this to my permit service company and let them fight the Quebec mafia. But yeah, that's all I needed. 60 miles from the border with Ontario to the destination. So the plan is to deliver ideally today, and then I'm driving back, bring back this rental, hook up to my trailer, and head into US, where I already booked a load coming back that pays pretty good, so I can go empty into US and bring it back to Ontario. And you see, just like within 1 minute, it's already getting light. So I went inside, wanted to get a Starbucks. They have a Starbucks inside, and all the lights are dim, but there's people working. I said, "When are you guys? What time do you open?" They said 6:30, and the time was like 6:25. I said, "That's it. I cannot wait. I gotta go." So I love these. That's what all I ate yesterday. I had like 3 of these, and then I came to this rest area and jumped off the wagon. Oh shoot, I forgot that my brakes popped on the trailer, so now we have to give it a second before the air goes in. Yeah, fuel mileage was pretty bad as usual with such a tall load, but it's okay. That's why they pay us the big bucks. One thing I forgot to check is my hydraulic hose. It's so long now, right? I had to get creative and wrap it around. Wrap it around the tank. Okay, I think we should be good. Let the games begin. Let's check the brakes. Trailer. Wow. But now of course I'm letting this guy go. Benoit Ranger. Now look at this guy. That's the Quebec way of stopping at the stop sign.
In 200 meters, merge onto Ontario 401 East.
see up ahead, a container truck went into the ditch. Like there was a lot of fuel spilled over here. Looks like they've been cleaning up, and all the engine is destroyed, so the guy hit something. Okay. Big crash. Oh, there's a couple of these. So one is there, and something is happening over here. The back of that container was all smashed. Well, the forklift is still on the trailer, running on 9 axles, 4 in the back, 2 axle Jeep, and my pusher is up. And I'm in Napanee, Ontario, because I didn't have time to order the Quebec permit, and so I stopped here. 1 second, let me just put this in here. So I stopped in Napanee at the Flying J because, you know, it's pretty big. My seat went down. And you know, once you have some experience, it's not that difficult to get used to new equipment. Yeah, at first when I was leaving the crane yard yesterday, it was pretty difficult with this Jeep, but then, you know, you just learn like a couple of simple things. You just go wider. It's pretty much like you have a trailer with, I don't know, 60-foot wheelbase, you know. So it takes forever, right? And you have to stay far to one side when you're turning right, so you have to keep your truck all the way to the left, you know. Just watch your mirrors, you know. And like even today I managed to back with it without any pull-ups. You know, I went into the fuel, and it's so expensive over here. I don't know, like Pilot, $1.35 Canadian per liter. But I was low on DEF, and so I went in there, but to get out it's too tight. This truck's parked right there, and you know, I was just watching my Jeep, which way the Jeep is going, and it is backed at an angle, and then the scale is right here, and the turn was too sharp for me to go into the scale, so I decided to make a circle around the truck stop and just go straight into the scale. And I do a circle, I come back, and the FedEx guy just parks his double trailer, you know, one of those single axle trailers, just parks right there. Like there's no lines on the pavement. He's not supposed to park there. Basically, well, he's far away from the scale, but in the same line, you know. Like I thought I would be smart and I just go in a straight line, go through the scale, And this guy just, I see he's walking his dog, and I said, why you stop here? And he's like, what? He doesn't understand, you know, like he's in the way. But anyway, I managed to bypass him, do some crazy maneuvers, and I got on the scale, and I'm 99 feet 10 inches long from bumper to bumper. And of course no scale can accommodate all your axles, and I talked to them before when I was fueling. I said, you know, I need to scale and I'm very long, and they said, yeah, we can do like 2 measurements, which to me is news, because remember at the Flying J in Mississauga, Ontario, they told me they cannot print your ticket unless you move away from the scale. You know, like once I left my truck right there, sitting on the scale, I went inside because there was no space where to park. And I go inside, the guy says, no, I cannot give you a ticket, your truck is still on the scale, you know. But here, basically I went first with, that's what she told me how to do it. She says, just make sure different axles are, like during these 2 measurements, different axles are on the scale. Like first I go with my truck and Jeep, and I leave the trailer wheels away from the scale, right? And then when she tells me she has my weight, I go forward till only my trailer wheels are on the scale, and that's it. And then automatically it prints like the first measurement, the second measurement, and then it gives you the gross weight. So it turns out with my my trailer and my truck, I was 132,500 pounds, pretty much the same fuel, because I only got like 1 tank of fuel. So now 50% of fuel, I'm 152,520. So I don't know how this helps the roads, you know, like instead of letting me run with 132.5 gross on 8 axles, they want me to run with 152.5 on 9 axles. Like, you know, I think it's all screwed up. But I ordered the permit, I ordered the escort, and of course it's too late to do anything now, but so we scheduled the crane appointment for tomorrow for 11 o'clock in Montreal, because it turns out there's a curfew. There's a curfew around Montreal until 9:30. So I cannot go through Montreal before that. And so the plan for today is to move out as close to the Quebec line as possible, because I'm still about 2 hours away from the border with Quebec. So and there's a bunch of truck stops in there. There's another Flying J, exit 814, but it's very tiny. So if I go there with this rig, I will paralyze the entire little truck stop, you know, because they don't have long spaces, you know, like what I found overnight at the rest area. And so that's what I want to do. There's another rest area about 180 kilometers from here east towards Quebec, which is what, 80 kilometers is 50 miles, 100 kilometers is 60, so 140 miles, which is good. So no, wait a second, 180, 60 plus 50, 110, 110 miles. So less than 2 hours. And I know these guys, they have these extra long, you know, spots for those double deckers, you know, those double drive-in trailers, because they're running here between Quebec and Ontario. They allow double 53 footers, you know. Now, so then, you know, like, what am I complaining about? I'm only 100 feet long. Imagine that guy, the truck is probably at least 20 feet long, and then 2 53-foot trailers, you know. I don't know how those guys drive, you know. They must be getting a very, very big bucks. Like, for me to do that, that's stress. Anyway, I just wanted to show you my ticket. So check this out. The guys who helped me hook up the Jeep and the trailer, right, they know how to set up everything, you know, where the kingpins should be, because, you know, the fifth wheel on the Jeep, you can move it, but they set it like that. He says we don't touch it because that's how it usually is, perfect like that, you know. And I was just surprised to see like how pretty much everything is, you know, right on the money basically, but still a lot of weight on the truck for some reason. Like on the front now I have 14,580 pounds, and again we're in Canada, right? So US weights of 12,000, 34,000 don't matter here, especially since I'm running under a permit. So steer axle 14, I'll just run by a digit, okay? So 14,580 pounds. Drive axle, so both drive axles 37,260. Jeep, both axles 37,640. First two axles on the trailer 31,660. Last two axles on the trailer 31,380. Because the way I positioned the trailer, turns out I saw it, but I knew that it wouldn't be a problem. But instead of giving me one reading for 4 axles, it gave me 2 readings. So 31,660 plus 31,380, so roughly 63,000 pounds is on the trailer. And the gross weight is 152,520 in pounds. 152,520 pounds. So, like I said, I became 20,000 pounds heavier because there's much more metal, you know, like the gooseneck is huge on this trailer, plus the trailer itself, it's a 65 ton. So of course it's much more robust, you know, more steel, so it's much heavier than my 55 ton Fontaine. And the gooseneck is longer, and then the Jeep is a, you know, massive piece of probably Chinese engineering. No, strike that. Sheltima trailer. Yeah, some people left comment in there that they never heard about this name. But yeah, there's just like, you know, those Globe trailers I toured in Florida. Sometimes you're not familiar with the brand unless you live over there. Hold on, I just wanted to show you this heavy hauler guy. Which way is he going? So this guy has Freightliner, a 4-axle truck, and he's has a same trailer like mine pretty much, but different design. And he has a 3-axle trailer with single axle flip. I don't know why he has it down, because he only has like 2 what looks like military vehicles. Well, and he's just parking. He decided to park over there. But yeah, the same setup like mine, like you know, the trailer left it back home. So 8 axles, but his pusher axle is has 4 tires. So basically he cannot use it in Quebec because 4 tires, that means that it's not a self-steer axle, as we call it here, or not self-steering. But those are some cute patrol vehicles he has, probably armored vehicles. I don't think they're too heavy, but for some reason he has all his 4 axles down on the trailer. So anyway, so the permits, the guy already charged me for the permits. I said everything is good. He says, yeah, I charged your credit card. And then he's asking me a question. He says, have you ever had a permit in Quebec? And now I'm just waiting. I said, no, not under my name. This will be the first time when I'm going as SERGEI DRATCHEV heavy haul in there. And they might need my certificate of insurance, or they might need something. So I'm gonna wait a few minutes, because I would hate this, you know, to start driving and then the guy starts emailing me and oh, send me this, send me this, send me this, you know, because I still have plenty of time. Now it's what we have here, 22:02. Oh, hold on, I think he sent me an email here. So I said, what's up? No problem, didn't know if you had 9 million in Quebec. What? Didn't know if you had a 9 million in Quebec. What the heck is 9 million? Probably misspelled it. It's called NEQ, basically recognizes you as the right to do business in Quebec. It gives you the legal right to drop or pick up in Quebec. No, I don't need this. I don't need this NEQ. Okay, I'm gonna call him, but basically that's what I was afraid of, you know. I was waiting for some kind of a resolution, but now I'm gonna call the guy, and then I can start driving and move out towards the Quebec line. But this doesn't sound serious. I thought they would say, hey, no permit for you. But basically, probably this, despite what I said before, this probably will be my last trip to Quebec, you know. Just the regulations are too different between Ontario and Quebec, even though it's the same country. You waste too much time, you know. Just for me as a single truck operator, it's just not practical.